Welcome to Turn to Your Doom, a Choose Your Own Adventure book podcast where someone reads a Choose Your Own Adventure book and the other person does the choosing. My name is Art, and with me today is someone who is an economic hitman, Roan.
Woo! It's me.
Yeah.
It's
Are you ready to exploit a small island nation for oil?
I mean, I grew up in the United Kingdom. Of course I am. This is what I was made for.
You've done worse for nutmeg.
I've done worse for less. I've done worse for fun.
Yep. This is part 2. Listen, part 1. I don't know. Let's do it. We're not going to go over too much of it because there's a lot. But basically, a supercomputer, and you get a supercomputer from a contest, and then this man exploits you so he can make money off of a thing you won. And this led to you flying to a small island country to buy up land before oil is discovered there. So you get it on the cheap, and then turn $300,000 into billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars in today money or 80s money?
80s money.
Oh god, wow. Okay.
So like trillions of dollars.
Woof.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yep. Probably still billions, but like higher billions.
Yeah, more billions.
Yeah, a trillion is 1,000 billion. So like that's a lot. That's a lot of billions. But okay. Now, we're just gonna jump into it. We kind of went over things. There's while I am interested in this one, I feel like this is a well written one. Not a lot has happened, but it's written well enough that I don't care. Yeah. So you, comrade, and Dr. Hopstern relax in the plush rear seat of the prince's limousine as it careens along the narrow, twisting roads of the mountainous kingdom. The car slows as it rounds a hairpin bend, and looking out the window, you see a boulder slamming down the hillside.
That doesn't sound safe.
Look out! No. The driver accelerates, and with a heavy thud, the heavy rock bounces off the rear bumper. The limo skids forward towards the embankment, but the driver holds the road, accelerating again. As he comes out of this turn. The guard sitting in front of you fires out the window, answering bullets whizzing by, but you're quickly out of the range. Rebels! The driver cries and spits out the window. You and Hopstern. You look at Hopstern. I wish we had to come to this place.
Do you think it's too late to leave, or?
Oh man, I wish I didn't make this decision. Hopstern nods. I feel the same way. The rest of the trip passes uneventfully. As the sun is setting, you see high stone walls of the palace. A great iron gate swing open, and the limousine turns down a drive paved in pink coral chips and lined with rows of towering palms. Before you is a splendid palace, its walls and towers fashioned of multicolored stones. Servants spring from nowhere to help you with your baggage, and they lead you into a high vaulted chamber, and Prince Razin, a handsome dark-skinned man, steps towards you to greet you. Your eyes fasten on his blue silk turban, studded with rubies and diamonds. Turn to page 90.
Yep.
I just want to point out that the turbans are generally worn by Sikhs.
Yeah. And there's no indication that this is a Sikh country. Just kind of a little bit of a hodgepodge, which is basically what people thought any foreign country was.
Yeah, I'm wondering, because I'm just gonna I'm not an expert in the Sikh culture or anything, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty low key most of the time.
Yeah, and
they're very helpful.
They're very generous and
very
charitable.
I feel like you would feel like Prince. I don't think.
No.
If there's rebels, coming after him, I feel like he's not being generous, unless it's a U.S. led coup.
Well, it probably is. I mean, how else, the American government going to come in and be like, oh yeah, we've got to stop this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like all of the Sikh stuff was destroyed by your people, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. They used to have kingdoms and stuff. But like the last Sikh prince was around in King Victoria's reign.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, if we want to like split hairs, technically, my people are Irish.
Technically, yeah. Yeah. If you want to split hair, but it's, yeah, I guess.
The only reason
you live in the UK, right?
Yeah,
you live in the UK, though.
The only reason I even live in the UK is because of the economic crisis within Ireland in the 70s.
Yeah, that's a fun subject. Okay. After shaking hands with you, the prince orders a power supply to be brought in so Comrade can recharge its batteries and function at full capacity. While Comrade dines on electricity, you and Hopstern enjoy coconut cake and lemon tea. Forgive me, the prince says, looking at Hopstern and speaking in a formal and polite manner. There have been some problems in our country, and I must meet with my officer. So I only have a few minutes to spend with you. The moment I received your message, I suspect that you have a very advanced computer. Please tell me what you have in mind. What? Okay. Hopstern starts to talk, but you're getting tired of the way Hopstern acts, as if he owns Comrade. So you interrupt him, telling the prince, I have instructed my computer to reveal to you information that will enable you to acquire almost nothing for a oil field that within 2 months will have a market value of over $3 billion. I only ask that you assure us a fee of $1 billion. The prince looks down at you and smiling. A rather steep fee for such a young entrepreneur. Don't you agree? But I'm a practical man. I will pay you $1 billion only after. The prince's words are drowned out by the deafening staccato of machine gun fire. Plaster and dust rain down from the ceiling. You dive under their table. It's an attack! The prince shouts. Turn to page 95.
This isn't good.
No, not at all. An officer rushes in. His face is covered with beads of sweat. He and Prince Rosin speak heatedly in Bhutan. The prince turns to you in a perfectly calm voice. I must excuse myself for a few moments. There's been a civil disturbance which diverts my attention. Oh, really? Oh wow, I didn't know that.
That's crazy. I mean, you could have fooled us.
Yeah. As the prince leaves, Comrade speaks out. It is not a civil disturbance. It's a revolution. Within a few hours, the palace will be overrun and everyone killed.
Damn.
Comrade, what shall we do? Hopstern had turned deadly pale.
From my telephone hookup back in the hotel, I learned something that may save you.
What? Hopstern and you both say at once.
It's in the courtyard. You'll find a hot air balloon and gondola. It's a prince's emergency escape, which means while his attention is diverted by the rebels, you can be the ones who escape.
Thank heavens! Hopstern cries.
One problem. To rise rapidly out of gunfire range, you must minimize weight. You will have to leave me behind.
Ah, too bad. Hopstern turns to you. We'll have to leave Hopstern behind. Comrade is my computer, you say. I will be the one who decides whether to leave him behind.
Yeah.
If you leave Comrade behind, turn to page 103. If you decide risk taking Comrade with you, turn to page 108.
108, obviously. He's my bro.
You rotten soldier, you good time boy?
Yeah. My big cheese.
No, I won't leave without Comrade, you cry. Hopstern reluctantly agrees to take Comrade along. The two of you get into the computer. Wow. The two of you get into the computer. No, two of you get into the balloon. Already inflating the big unit. You load Comrade aboard and cast off the lines. The balloon rises in the air and begins drifting towards the south wall of the palace. The royalists and the rebels are busy shooting each other, so that your escape goes unnoticed. It looks like Conrad was wrong, you say jubilantly. Look how high we've risen. Don't be so sure of it. And I don't think we should activate Conrad to check him. While he's running on batteries, it's important to conserve his energy. The balloon drifts through the remainder of the dark night. In an early morning mist, you notice the first light of day in the east. As the sky brightens before you, you say, Look, Dr. Hopstern, are those clouds or mountains? Turn to page 113. Hopstern wipes his spectacles and peers ahead. Mountains. No doubt about it. Now we know why Conrad warned us. He learned everything there is to know about this country. He knew about the wind direction, the height of the mountain, and we had to cross, the lift capacity of the balloon, our fuel supply, our weight, every possible factor which could affect our flight. He calculated that we wouldn't make it over the mountain. We should have listened to him.
Damn.
Maybe so, you say, but at least we're out of the palace. But now what? Hopstern can't disguise his fear. We can't land in the mountains and hope to make it across the border. Those aren't the Alps, after all, and the country is wild and unknown. There's been reports of headhunters in the area. Yet, if we land too soon, we might find ourselves in the middle of the revolution. If you say, let's try to make it across the mountains, turn to page 26. If you say, let's land, turn to page 106. Do you want to land, or?
Yeah, let's land. Also,
I don't think it's too risky trying to get across the mountain. I think it's too risky to try to get across the mountains, you say. Let's land. All right, Dr. Hopstern says. We set the balloon down in that clearing. He lowers the gas flame. The balloon slowly settles down to earth. You hardly have time to get out of the gondola before you hear the drum beats in the forest.
Oh boy.
Soon, painted faces appear among the gnarled, vine-covered trees. An arrow whistles over your head, puncturing the partially filled balloon. You hear the hiss of escaping air. Hopstern's face turns ashen gray. We're in trouble. These are the famed headhunters of Uti, the Wasabi tribe. I hate this. We should have never...
We should have crashed into the mountains.
I should have never taken you on this expedition. Mr. Hopstern is so frightened that it makes you feel braver. Don't give up hope, Doctor. Maybe Comrade could save us. Yeah, I suppose we can try. Let's put him on full power. All those power can only last 10 minutes on that level. Hopstern throws a switch and Comrade's optical scanner rotates as he takes in the scene. We don't have to tell him what our problem is. He'll understand. You understand, too. The Wasabi warriors are coming into full view, forming a circle around the down balloon, and they begin a ritual dance. The drum beat louder and faster. Slowly, the circle closes. You try not to think of the horrible deaths that await you. Man, I love that you're painting the natives of this land as horrible.
It's really yeah.
Surprised I haven't called them savages. At this point.
I'm waiting.
Suddenly, drums fall silent. You stare into the faces of the warriors. Each of them hold a 2-foot-long knife, and that's a sword. You're not even describing like a sword. You're describing a great sword, like a claymore. At that point, and a club spiked with thorns. You're too frozen with fear to even scream. But the warriors scream as they charge at the gondola. At the same time, you hear a loud cracking sound. Sparks and flashes shoot out in every direction. Cringing in fear, you cover your eyes and ears to shut out the piercing electronic sound that rises and falls, wailing like the cry of a tortured soul. The tribesman shrinks back, whimpering and crying. In place of Comrade, you only see a puff of blue-white light, like ball lightning that rises into the air and slowly transforms to a cloud of thin yellow smoke. What's happening? What is happening?
He's Mighty Morphin. He's like a Transformer or something.
Have you ever watched the movie Lucy?
No.
Well, it's Limitless, but it's with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
But I just want to spoil the ending. She gets so smart, she basically ascends, becomes a new form.
What?
Yeah, it actually looks pretty cool. I actually kind of like the movie. It's fun and like a dumb action movie.
Yeah.
Way. Because her being smart also makes her like the best at fighting and shooting.
Okay,
people.
yeah, I think that's how
And
it works.
hacking.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah. They kneel in a circle around the gondola. They think we're gods. Fuck off. Okay.
That's not.
Hops. No. So they think we're gods. Hopstern whispers. We're safe now, thanks to Conrad. But Conrad is no more. Turn to page 115. You look back at the charred remains of your supercomputer. A tear trickles down your cheek as you realize what happened. Conrad figured out the only solution that could save you, and it required his own destruction. The Wasabi warriors gave you fruit and fresh coconuts. They hang garland of flowers around your neck. And place colorful bracelets on your ankles and wrists. They guide you safely out of the jungle to a fishing village where you're able to hire a boat and take you over to Australia. Your adventure is over. It was exciting and wonderful, but you're a little sad, and you'll never see another computer like Conrad. The end.
R.I.P. Conrad, I guess. What the fuck?
Yeah, I would have rather him like ascend and become like an actual like digitalized god or something. That's what I thought was happening at
That's
first.
what
I'm
I
just
thought. Like he was gonna, I don't know, morph into some kind of higher being or something. But no, he just fucking died.
What? Why do we see a fucking robot on the cover? Like that has to be Conrad. So, let's do the other option where we try to get over the mountains.
Yeah, maybe we see, robot Conrad.
I just want to see robot Conrad at this point.
This is what we're all here for.
Yeah. Let's try to cross.
Okay.
Very well, Hopstone says. He starts throwing out sandbags to lighten the balloon. The balloon slowly rises. As the sky brightens, the mountain looms closer. They look much higher now. An hour goes by. The balloon has stopped rising, except when a thermal gives a bit of extra lift. We're about 800 feet now. That'll get us through the pass between those two peaks up ahead. Come on, baby, you say, shaking your fist at the balloon. You can do it. In a few moments, you're over the pass, floating between two jagged peaks covered with scrubby alpine vegetation. You see a broad valley beyond the mountain. Then a downdraft propels you only a few yards above the treetops. Suddenly, the balloon catches on the tree. The gondola plunges, and you're caught up in its ropes. For a moment, you're swinging wildly 10 or 15 feet above the ground, but the ropes hold. Whoopee! We're safely down!
Hee!
You yell. You shimmy down a rope to the ground. Hopstern follows. There's a chance of getting out of this country alive, but you know there's no way you'll be able to carry Conrad with you. You feel bad about that. What about the grown man right next to you? There's also rope. You could tie a rope around him. What about making a sled?
Just take the doctor, whatever his name is, use him as a sled.
Or you could just use like a log.
Nah.
Or something.
Nah. Use the guy. He's the one who got me in this situation in the first place.
You and Hopstern set out over the pass, working your way through the high jungle forest and down into the valley beyond. Hours later, you stumble into a friendly village. For the first time, you know you're probably going to make it home. Poor Conrad, you exclaim. I wish we could have gotten him here. Yes, it's sad, Hopstern says. He'll probably swing for years in the gondola until a storm blows him down. Of course, he'll never reach his potential as a supercomputer. On the other hand, maybe he's happier running at low levels on solar cells, swinging a tree without a care in the world. Better than being a genius.
Yeah.
Yet cooped up in a box at all times. I should think. The end.
Somehow that was worse.
Yeah, that was worse somehow.
I mean, at least Conrad blows up in the other one.
Yeah, now you're just like, oh, maybe he's happy being stuck in that box, but like, no brain power.
Yeah, he's probably fine.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing will happen in this, I'm assuming, very humid area filled with animals and stuff. Like, that definitely won't rest his components.
I think that's a really good idea for, just to keep the machine in.
Just keep a machine in like a really humid area, and it'll be fine.
Yeah,
generally. Fine. Okay, so we're gonna go back, and we're gonna be monsters.
Okay, we're gonna leave Conrad.
We're gonna leave Conrad behind. You're gonna be a monster.
Story of my life, baby.
Yeah, and not like the Lady Gaga way. Some of her fans call themselves monsters.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. You didn't have to explain.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I hope you stub your toe.
I'm gonna stub my toe even if you don't say that. I'm a very clumsy person.
I hope you stub your toe, and as soon as it starts to feel better, you stub your toe.
Oh, I mean, that's just gonna happen. That's just something that happens to me.
I hope you drop your biscuit in your tea and it gets soggy.
I don't dip my biscuits in my tea.
I hope the next time you see a beautiful scene, someone just ruins it by putting an orphan in your way.
I live in London. What beautiful scenes am I gonna see? An empty tube carriage, maybe, so I can choose where I sit.
I hope someone sings "Sweet Caroline" really badly next to you. The next time.
How dare you?
That I listened to this one podcast called Trash Future, and all the people there they all live in London actually, except for one of them. But they do a thing called Britanology where the British guy explains like quintessential British stuff to an American who's been living there for a couple of years. And one of them was he was explaining a night out and how, everyone gets like fucked up off of drugs, most likely like cocaine and some downers, and while getting like, drunk. Yeah. And inevitably someone will start singing Sweet Caroline very loudly in the tube. And so
I don't know
that's what I hope.
I don't know what it is about that song.
I mean, it's fun to sing when you're drunk. It is very fun to sing.
But why is it specifically that song?
It's, I don't know. Maybe it's the bap, bap, bap part. It's that problem. It'd be funny if it was something else. But I don't know. But yeah, let's leave Comrade behind.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck him. He's gonna die in the other ones anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's no good news here.
You touched at Comrade's refusal. Think of his own safety. And speak only the truth. You hesitate for a moment, and then you ask Hopstern, "Isn't there some way we could take Comrade?" "No, and there's another problem. Comrade will fall into the hands of desperate men who might use him for evil purposes. We must detach Comrade's cerebral module." What if the rebels have a point? They do have a monarchy here, which means they're probably exploited.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a bad thing for,
Now, we don't know much. Well, okay. We don't know much about the prince. I'm assuming he's bad because he's a monarch.
Well, I'm thinking, if a lot of people are that angry at him and he's living in such a lavish palace, I'm probably gonna assume he's not a great person.
I'm gonna assume that too. He doesn't seem to be like, cause like, I feel like with the oil offer, he'd be like, well, no, you can't take it because I'm gonna socialize it and make sure that our people are rich off of that money.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically the prince...
I'm gonna be able to fund social programs for decades off with this oil money.
Yeah, and it's gonna, give more opportunities to people who otherwise wouldn't have those opportunities. But no, basically this prince sucks.
Yeah. So,
good riddance.
Yeah, good riddance. Hops, what effect will that have? Hopstern shakes his head. It will reduce Conrad to this status of a common 4th-generation home computer. That's terrible! There's a chance we can reinsert the cerebral module later. The trouble is the self-replicating biochips may die after being cut off of their life source.
Well,
I am afraid.
A comrade breaks into a trembling voice. Dr. Hopstern, did you hear what Conrad says? Incredible! Hopstern exclaims. He's not only have a super brain, he also developed emotions. He's developing a human character right in front of our eyes. Let's leave him behind.
Wow, this is amazing. Bye, guys.
Turn to 107. You start to speak, but your voice is drowned out by a burst of gunfire. You crouch down next to your supercomputer. Conrad, will you remember who your owner is? Will you try to find your way back to me and not Do anything I wouldn't do? Your hopeful comrade would say yes, but instead he replies,
I rely on my master program.
You look at Dr. Hopstern for explanation of Conrad's response, but he's starting to stare into space, lost in thought. The gunfire starts up again. There's no time to waste. If you let Hopstern remove Conrad's cerebral module, turn to page 68. If you refuse, turn to page 112.
So if you remove it, that means he's going to lose his emotion? So
He might not. He might die.
Oh, damn. Let's say we don't. Let's refuse.
Okay. I won't let you remove Conrad's cerebral module, you say firmly. I feel the same way about Conrad as I do a real person. I appreciate your sentiment, says Hopstern, but you've got to think about what evil could be done to the world if Conrad falls into the wrong hands. Like you? You're gonna exploit a small island country.
Oh, it's fine.
For oil profit.
It's fine, don't worry.
You're the right hands. You're the right hands, right? No, Doctor, you say forthrightly. I will not permit you to lay hands on Comrade. Hopstern shakes his head. Very well. Come then. We must inflate the balloon and get out of here. Once the balloon is ready, you bid Conrad farewell and place him on standby. You follow Hopstern aboard the gondola and cast off the mooring lines and hold your breath as the balloon rises swiftly above the courtyard. With help of a steady north wind, it floats safely over the mountains and across the stretch of ocean that separates Booty from Australia. As soon as you pass into an inhabited area, Hopstern cools the air and the balloon settles gently to earth. Within minutes, you're surrounded by curious and friendly farmers who've never seen a balloon before. They're Australian. They probably know the concept of it on air balloon.
Can you imagine? Oh, blimey, what's this?
You telling me you could be up there? Up there? What?
It's a fucking skyboat. Crikey.
This was written by an 18th century British person.
Let me just get my boomerang on that.
So, when you finally arrive home, your glamorous life as a traveler and owner of a supercomputer ended. You eagerly read the past week's newspaper to find out what happened in Booty. You learn that the royal palace fell into the hands of rebels only hours after you escaped. The prince and all his supporters were slain.
Uh-huh.
You feel bad about the way you allowed your computer to fall into the hands of murderers. Oh my god, they're oh my, oof. Oh god.
Are we not considering the undertones of, why they may have been driven to this?
No, if you do a thing that's bad once, that means any reason you have is automatically wrong.
Yeah.
God, they're speaking like fucking rad libs. God damn it.
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to protest in a way that inhibits people's days. You're supposed to protest in a way that, can be like, yeah, and not have to be late to work.
Peaceful protest.
Oh, is it peaceful if people get hurt? Okay. Oh, don't fight back against the cops. Just because they did something bad doesn't mean you have to.
It makes you just as bad as them.
Don't punch the Nazis. If you were as smart as Conrad, you would have figured out a way to get him back. One day, while you're thinking about these things, a phone rings, and you hear a familiar voice on the phone.
It's me, Conrad. I'm at the Los Angeles airport. I hired Federal Express to bring me home. See you soon.
The end.
Huh? What? Hey, what's up, guys? I just mailed myself back.
Did he put himself in a box? I'm pretty sure you need to be in a box.
Oh my god.
So this is the other one. It ends pretty much immediately. But if you take out a cerebral module.
Yeah, let's see what happens there.
Yeah. Reluctantly, you watch Dr. Hopstern remove Conrad's cerebral module. After the panel on the main control unit is replaced, Conrad looks the same as before, but the organic mind plasma that made him a supercomputer is gone. You hear more gunfire. The palace is under full siege. Working quickly, you and Hopstein break out the emergency balloon and drag it and the gondola into open courtyard. You ignite the gas heater, and the balloon begins to inflate. You're in mortal danger now. If the prince finds you trying to get away in his escape balloon, he'll probably be shot on sight. The balloon slowly expands. You're looking anxious now, towards the door in the courtyard. Now, Hopstein shouts. You jump into the gondola and cast off the mooring lines. The rebel and royalists are too busy shooting each other to notice the balloon rising. I'll miss you, Conrad. You tell Conrad once you're safely locked. Maybe one day we can retrieve him from Booty, and reassert his cerebral module. Hopstein smiles. It's pretty to think so, he says. The end.
What?
That's it.
What?
Yep. Let me look at another path real quick.
Man, what the hell?
I'm looking at something real quick.
Uh-huh.
I'm deciding if I'm going to end it right now or if I'm going to... Oh, it looks like the next one... It looks like the other path would have been pretty fun. As well. Let's save this one.
Uh-huh.
And we will attempt to do another part another day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when let me stop this recording.
Oh, well, we need to do the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can just cut all this shit out.
Yeah, this is we're going to decide to end this right here. We're probably going to do a really direct sequel to this in the future.
Yep.
If not immediately, I don't know. We have a lot of we have a lot of backlog. But yeah, so what did you think of that storyline anyway?
Honestly, it just kind of kept getting worse and worse. I mean, it had everything. Insider trading, racism, stock market.
Painting rebels as bad automatically without looking the reason why they're rebelling.
Yeah. The very 80s all in all.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. It's written well.
It is written very well, yeah.
All of the choices make sense for what follows, actually.
Yeah.
And they actually, it seems like as well, they actually keep in mind what the story is.
Yeah, you're not losing the story.
Yeah, you're not losing the story. Which some of them will have something wildly different happen if you choose one or the other. And it'd be like, whoa, wasn't this going to happen in some way? You know, like...
Where did this come from?
Yeah, like the difference between you taking Comrade with you and you keeping them there. All of that makes sense within the choices you made.
Yeah.
And
it's logical.
And it doesn't... it makes sense for what it is. I do wish that Comrade ascended, though, in that one ending.
Yeah, and he became like a, like you said, digital god.
Yeah, he should have become a digital god. I'm a big fan of AIs ascending and becoming digital gods. I have some books I could recommend actually about that. AIs becoming digital gods. But they are digital gods. Actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it, honestly. Do you have any words of advice? Like maybe let people spit in your mouth because it's COVID surge or something like that?
No, not that.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like your fun thing you did. I thought you let people lick your tongue, like randomly.
No.
You're like, hey, stranger. Hey, coughing stranger over there. Coughing, sneezing stranger. Why don't you just like get your fluids inside of my mouth?
I get them to like cough in a jar and then screw it up, and then I have it for later.
Oh, okay. See, I like to get it from farm to table. Like I like it to be fresh, like really fresh, never frozen, never processed.
Or Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's. Basically, I like it Wendy's style.
Wendy's style COVID.
Yeah.
So my advice for you, gentle listener, is if you're on a motorbike, don't ever smoke.
Yeah, maybe don't smoke in general unless you want to like die sooner.
Unless you want to look cool all you want. Fuck.
I'm gonna be real honest. I fell for the propaganda. I do think smoking looks cool in certain situations. So
it looks cooler than vaping.
Oh, so much cooler than vaping. I'm not necessarily against vaping either. But like it looks so much cooler. But yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much pretty much it. Look at the description for all the socials and whatnot.
Yes.
And this has been Turn to Your Doom. I don't know.
Who up turning their doom right now?
Yeah, turn up your doom. Okay, bye.
Bye.